Dead Sea Scrolls Genesis 1Q1 Genesis. Language, Hebrew. Date, 30 BC, 68 AD. Location, Qumran Cave 1. Genesis 1. 18 And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. God saw that it was good. 19 There was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. 20 God said, Let the waters abound with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky. 21 God created the large sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarmed, after their kind, and every winged bird after its kind. God saw that it was good. Genesis 3. 11 God said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? 12 The man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate it. 13 Yahweh God said to the woman, What have you done? The woman said, The serpent deceived me, and I ate. 14 Yahweh God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed above all livestock, and above every animal of the field. You shall go on your belly, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. Genesis 22. 13 Abraham lifted up his eyes, and looked, and saw that behind him was a ram caught in the thicket by his horns. Abraham went and took the ram, and offered him up for a burnt offering instead of his son. 14 Abraham called the name of that place Yahweh will provide. As it is said to this day, on Yahweh's mountain, it will be provided. 15 Yahweh's angel called to Abraham a second time out of the sky. Genesis 23. 17 So the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field, the cave which was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all of its borders, were deeded. 18 To Abraham for a possession in the presence of the children of Het, before all who went in at the gate of his city. 19 After this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre, that is, Hebron, in the land of Canaan. Genesis 24. 22 As the camels had done drinking, the man took a golden ring of half a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels weight of gold. 24 She said to him, I am the daughter of Bethuel the son of Milcah, whom she bore to Nahor. 2Q1 Genesis. Language, Hebrew. Date, 30 BC, 68 AD. Location, Qumran Cave 2. Genesis 19. 27 Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he had stood before Yahweh. 28 He looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all the land of the plain, and looked, and saw that the smoke of the land went up as the smoke of a furnace. Genesis 36. 6 Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the members of his household, with his livestock, all his animals, and all his possessions, which he had gathered in the land of Canaan, and went into a land away from his brother Jacob. 36 Hadad died, and Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his place. 37 Samlah died, and Shaul of Rehoboth by the river, reigned in his place. 4Q1 Genesis. Language, Hebrew. Date, 125 to 100 BC. Location, Qumran Cave 4. Genesis 22. 14 Abraham called the name of that place, Yahweh God will provide. As it is said to this day, on Yahweh's mountain, it will be provided. Genesis 27. 38 Esau said to his father, Do you have you just one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. Esau lifted up his voice, and wept. 39 Isaac his father answered him, Behold, of the fatness of the earth will be your dwelling, and of the dew of the sky from above. 42 The words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. She sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, Behold, your brother Esau comforts himself about you by planning to kill you. 43 Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Laban, my brother, in Haran. Genesis 34. 17 But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, then we will take our sister, and we will be gone. 18 Their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. 19 The young man didn't wait to do this thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was honored above all the house of his father. 20 Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their city, and talked with the men of their city, saying, 21 These men are peaceful with us. Therefore let them live in the land and trade in it. For behold, the land is large enough for them. Let's take their daughters to us for wives, and let's give them our daughters. Genesis 35. 17 When she was in hard labor, the midwife said to her, Don't be afraid, for now you will have another son. 18 As her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Benoni, but his father named him Benjamin. 19 Rachel died, and was buried on the way to Ephrath, also called Bethlehem. 20 Jacob set up a pillar on her grave. The same is the pillar of Rachel's grave to this day. 21 Israel traveled, and spread his tent beyond the tower of Eder. 22 While Israel lived in that land, Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard of it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. 23 The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. 24 The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. 25 And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant Dan and Naphtali. 26 And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, who were born she bore to him in Paddan Aram. 27 Jacob came to Isaac his father, to Mamre, to Kiriath Arba, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac lived as foreigners. 28 The days of Isaac were 180 years. 29 Isaac gave up the spirit, and died, and was gathered to his people, old and full of days. Esau and Jacob, his sons, buried him. Genesis 36. 2 Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan, Adah the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Oholibamah the daughter of Anna, the daughter of Zibeon, the Hivite. 3 And Basemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebaioth. 4 Adah bore to Esau Eliphaz. Basemath bore Ruel. 5 Oholibamah bore Jush, Jalem, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, who were born to him in the land of Canaan. 6 Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the members of his household, with his livestock, all his animals, and all his possessions, which he had gathered in the land of Canaan, and went into a land away from his brother Jacob. 7 For their substance was too great for them to dwell together, and the land of their travels couldn't bear them because of their livestock. 8 Esau lived in the hill country of Seir. Esau is Edom. 9 This is the history of the generations of Esau the father of the Edomites in the hill country of Seir. 10 These are the names of Esau's sons, Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau, and Ruel, the son of Basemath, the wife of Esau. 12 Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bore to Eliphaz Amalek. These are the descendants of Adah, Esau's wife. 13 These are the sons of Ruel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. These were the descendants of Basemath, Esau's wife. 19 These are the sons of Esau, that is, Edom, and these are their chiefs. 21 Dishon, Ezer, and Dishon. These are the chiefs who came of the Horites, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. 22 The children of Lotan were Hori and Heman. Lotan's sister was Timnah. 24 These are the children of Zibeon, Aiah and Anna. This is Anna who found the hot springs in the wilderness, as he fed the donkeys of Zibeon his father. 25 These are the children of Anna, Dishon and Oholibamah, the daughter of Anna. 26 These are the children of Dishon, Hemdan, Eshban, Ithran, and Cheran. 27 These are the children of Ezer, Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. Genesis 37. 5 Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him all the more. 6 He said to them, Please hear this dream which I have dreamed. 22 Reuben said to them, Shed no blood. Throw him into this pit that is in the wilderness, but lay no hand on him, that he might deliver him out of their hand, to restore him to his father. 23 When Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. 24 And they took him, and threw him into the pit. The pit was empty. There was no water in it. 25 They sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and saw a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead, with their camels bearing spices and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. 26 Judah said to his brothers, What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? 27 Come, and let's sell him to the Ishmaelites, and not let our hand be on him, for he is our brother, our flesh. His brothers listened to him. Genesis 39. 11 About this time, he went into the house to do his work, and there were none of the men of the house inside. 12 She caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. He left his garment in her hand, and ran outside. 13 When she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, and had run outside. 14 She called to the men of her house, and spoke to them, saying, Behold, he has brought a Hebrew into us to mock us. He came into me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. 15 When he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment by me, and ran outside. 16 She laid up his garment by her, until his master came home. 17 She spoke to him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant, whom you have brought to us, came in to me to mock me. 18 And as I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment by me, and ran outside. 19 When his master heard the words of his wife, which she spoke to him, saying, This is what your servant did to me, his wrath was kindled. 20 Joseph's master took him, and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in custody. 21 But Yahweh was with Joseph, and showed kindness to him, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. 22 The keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever they did there, he was responsible for it. 23 The keeper of the prison didn't look after anything that was under his hand, because Yahweh was with him, and that which he did, Yahweh made it prosper. Genesis 40. 1 After these things, the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker offended their lord, the king of Egypt. Genesis 45. 23 He sent the following to his father, 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and provision for his father by the way. Genesis 47. 13 There was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. 14 Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt, and in the land of Canaan, for the grain which they bought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. Genesis 48. 2 Someone told Jacob, and said, Behold, your son Joseph comes to you, and Israel strengthened himself, and sat on the bed. 3 Jacob said to Joseph, God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and blessed me. 4 And said to me, Behold, I will make you fruitful, and multiply you, and I will make of you a company of peoples, and will give this land to your offspring after you for an everlasting possession. 15 He blessed Joseph, and said, The God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has fed me all my life long to this day. 16 The angel who has redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac. Let them grow into a multitude upon the earth. 17 When Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand on the head of Ephraim, it displeased him. He held up his father's hand, to remove it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. 18 Joseph said to his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. 19 His father refused, and said, I know, my son, I know. He also will become a people, and he also will be great. However, his younger brother will be greater than he, and his offspring will become a multitude of nations. 20 He blessed them that day, saying, Israel will bless in you, saying, God make you as Ephraim and as Manasseh. He set Ephraim before Manasseh. 21 Israel said to Joseph, Behold, I am dying, but God will be with you, and bring you again to the land of your fathers. 22 Moreover I have given to you one portion above your brothers, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite with my sword and with my bow. Genesis 49. 1 Jacob called to his sons, and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which will happen to you in the days to come. 2 Assemble yourselves, and hear, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father. 3 Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, excelling in dignity, and excelling in power. For boiling over like water, you shall not excel, because you went up to your father's bed, then defiled it. He went up to my couch. 6 My soul, don't come into their council. My glory, don't be united to their assembly, for in their anger they killed men. In their self-will they hamstrung cattle. For Q2 Genesis B. Language, Hebrew. Date, 30 to 68 AD. Location, Qumran Cave 4. Genesis 1. 1 In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. 2 The earth was formless and empty. Darkness was on the surface of the deep and God's Spirit was hovering over the surface of the waters. 3 God said, Let there be light, and there was light. For God saw the light, and saw that it was good. God divided the light from the darkness. 5 God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. There was evening and there was morning, the first day. 6 God said, Let there be an expanse in the middle of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. 7 God made the expanse, and divided the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse, and it was so. 8 God called the expanse sky. There was evening and there was morning, a second day. 9 God said, Let the waters under the sky be gathered together to one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. 10 God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. God saw that it was good. 11 God said, Let the earth yield grass, herbs yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind, with their seeds in it, on the earth, and it was so. 12 The earth yielded grass, herbs yielding seed after their kind, and trees bearing fruit, with their seeds in it, after their kind, and God saw that it was good. 13 There was evening and there was morning, a third day. 14 God said, Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs to mark seasons, days, and years. 15 And let them be for lights in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth, and it was so. 16 God made the 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He also made the stars. 17 God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light to the earth. 18 And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. God saw that it was good. 19 There was evening and there was morning, a fourth day. 20 God said, Let the waters abound with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth in the open expanse of the sky. 21 God created the large sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarmed, after their kind, and every winged bird after its kind. God saw that it was good. 22 God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful, and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. 23 There was evening and there was morning, a fifth day. 24 God said, Let the earth produce living creatures after their kind, livestock, creeping things, and animals of the earth after their kind, and it was so. 25 God made the animals of the earth after their kind, and the livestock after their kind, and everything that creeps on the ground after its kind. God saw that it was good. 26 God said, Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. 27 God created man in his own image. In God's image he created him, male and female he created them. 28 God blessed them. God said to them, Be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the sky, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Genesis 2:14. The name of the third river is Hiddekel. This is the one which flows in front of Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates. 15. Yahweh God took the man, and put him into the Garden of Eden to cultivate and keep it. 16. Yahweh God commanded the man, saying, You may freely eat of every tree of the garden. 17. But you shall not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for in the day that you eat of it, you will surely die. 18. Yahweh God said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. 19. Out of the ground Yahweh God formed every animal of the field, and every bird of the sky, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. Whatever the man called every living creature became its name. Genesis 4:2. Again she gave birth to Cain's brother Abel. Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. 3. As time passed, Cain brought an offering to Yahweh from the fruit of the ground. For Abel also brought some of the firstborn of his flock and of its fat. Yahweh respected Abel and his offering. 5. But he didn't respect Cain and his offering. Cain was very angry, and the expression on his face fell. 6. Yahweh said to Cain, Why are you angry? Why has the expression of your face fallen? 7. If you do well, won't it be lifted up? If you don't do well, sin crouches at the door. Its desire is for you, but you are to rule over it. 8. Cain said to Abel, his brother, 1, and while they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him. 9. Yahweh said to Cain, Where is Abel, your brother? He said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? 10. Yahweh said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries to me from the ground. 11. Now you are cursed because of the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. Genesis 5:13. Kenan lived after he became the father of Mahalalel 840 years, and became the father of other sons and daughters. For Q3 Genesis C. Language, Hebrew. Date, 30 BC, 68 AD. Location, Qumran Cave 4. Genesis 40:12. Joseph said to him, This is its interpretation, the 3 branches are 3 days. 13. Within 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head, and restore you to your office. You will give Pharaoh's cup into his hand, the way you did when you were his cup-bearer. 18. Joseph answered, This is its interpretation. The 3 baskets are 3 days. 19. Within 3 more days, Pharaoh will lift up your head from off you, and will hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh from off you. 20. On the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief cup-bearer and the head of the chief baker among his servants. 23. Yet the chief cup-bearer didn't remember Joseph, but forgot him. Genesis 41:1. At the end of 2 full years, Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. 2. Behold, there came up out of the river 7 cattle, sleek and fat, and they fed in the marsh grass. 3. Behold, 7 other cattle came up after them out of the river, ugly and thin, and stood by the other cattle on the brink of the river. For the ugly and thin cattle ate up the 7 sleek and fat cattle. So Pharaoh awoke. 5. He slept and dreamed a second time, and behold, 7 heads of grain came up on one stalk, healthy and good. 6. Behold, 7 heads of grain, thin and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. 7. The thin and blasted heads of grain swallowed up the 7 healthy and full ears. Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. 8. In the morning, his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all of Egypt's magicians and wise men. Pharaoh told them his dreams, but there was no one who could interpret them to Pharaoh. 9. Then the chief cup-bearer spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults today. 10. Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and put me in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, with the chief baker. 11 We dreamed a dream in one night, he and I. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. For Q